The Obesity Paradox. Part 2, the purpose and power of fat. Chapter 6, Fat Fundamentals. Why do we need it anyway? So this is just an image I found with a few things on it. So brain matter is about 60% fat. Fat helps the body absorb vitamins A, D, K, and E. Fat helps maintain body temperature. The body utilizes fat as an energy source. Fat supports cell growth, and fats help protect your organs. As we've heard about a lot in this series. So this is just an image with some of the things I've mentioned, so brain, hormones, organs, body temp, heart, skin, gut, and how what happens to your body on fat. Fat is one of the basic components that make up the structure of your body. The other elements include muscle, water, bone, and your organs. Obviously, these are all necessary for normal, healthy functioning, but so is body fat. If it didn't have a good side, then we probably wouldn't have a need for it at all. Discovering fat cells' profound responsibilities in the body has revolutionized the study of obesity. In addition to their prominent job of disposing of dietary fat, fat cells have been shown to wield power over glucose metabolism, blood pressure, appetite, hormone production, and how your body utilizes its energy resource. Building on what we learned about fat and the importance of its location in the body in Chapter 3, here we'll take a sweeping look at the role of body fat and why it's so important for our survival. This conversation will dispel a lot of myths that prevail in society, as well as share a bevy of facts that have only recently come to light in scientific circles. No matter how much we benefit from the fat in our body, a veritable phobia about fat still exists. This is due to many misconceptions that we have about it. So fat fundamentals. Fat is paramount to survival. No one can have a fat-free body and be healthy at the same time. Fat also is a core pillar of our nutrition. Each gram of dietary fat provides 9 calories of energy for the body, compared with 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates and proteins. In brief, we need fat for warmth and insulation, for protection and cushion, for energy, and even to think. About 2/3 of the brain is composed of fat. It provides the structural components not only of cell membranes in the brain, but also of myelin, the fatty insulating sheath that surrounds nerve fibers throughout the body, enabling them to carry messages faster. In humans, fatty acids help control blood pressure and inflammation, and keep blood from clotting. Fatty acids that are necessary for survival but cannot be manufactured by the human body are referred to as essential fatty acids. We must obtain them from diet. There are many sources of essential fatty acids that you can add to your diet to get the nutrients you need. You don't need much help in consuming omega-6s, which tend to be abundant in our diet, but you need a balance of both omega-3 and omega-6. Too much omega-6 and not enough omega-3 will increase inflammation. The all-star omega-3 source include nuts, soybeans, walnut oil, olive oil, and salmon. Untangling the confusion over triglycerides. Most everyone has a pretty good idea about what cholesterol is these days, but triglycerides still stump a lot of people. Unfortunately, triglycerides get a bad rap because they can be problematic in excess, just like cholesterol. On a very basic level, triglycerides are blood fats that help enable the two-way movement of fat and blood glucose from the liver. The amount of triglycerides in the blood is one important barometer of metabolic health, as high levels are associated with coronary heart disease, diabetes, and fatty liver disease. So here are some ways over here on how to lower your triglycerides level. So, dietary fats. There are 3 kinds of dietary fats, not including their kissing cousins cholesterol. Saturated fats are the only fatty acids that raise total blood cholesterol levels and low-density lipoprotein. For this reason, they may increase your risk of cardiovascular disease and may increase your risk of type 2 diabetes. Usually solid at room temperature. They are naturally found in meats and whole dairy products like milk, cheese, butter, cream, and ice cream. Although saturated fats have been demonized for years, especially since we generally get plenty in our daily fare, every cell in your body requires them for survival. Very recent evidence has seriously questioned the adverse effects of saturated fats, which may actually be less deleterious than the excess of carbohydrates, especially in physically inactive individuals, and trans fats, which may be the most toxic. Saturated fats comprise 50% of the cellular membrane and contribute to the structure and function of your lungs, heart, bones, liver, and immune system. With the help of saturated fats, your liver can successfully process fat so it doesn't have detrimental metabolic effects, as well as protect you from the adverse effects of toxins, including alcohol and compounds and medications. Trans fats are basically man-made synthetic fats that act like saturated fats and can raise your bad cholesterol level. They are produced when corn, soybean, and vegetable oil is made into a solid fat through a process called hydrogenation, and are often found in margarine and processed foods like snacks, commercially baked goods, shortening, and many fast food items. Fat, the general. I had to do a general here. Of all the functions of purposes of fat in the body, it has 4 key responsibilities that relate directly to the obesity paradox. Fat bolsters immunity. Cells that are precursors to fat cells, called predisoclites, act like special immune cells that devour invading germs and bacteria. Fat stores glucose. Body fat is one of the places, along with muscle and liver, where your body stockpiles glucose, storing it as fat molecules. Studies of rats and humans who have little body fat show chronically high blood glucose levels, just like in diabetics. This is because muscle tissue has a limit to how much glucose it can hold in the form of glycine. Biologically speaking, an anorexic body can actually act like a diabetic one. Fat produces hormones. In addition to storing and releasing triglycerides, fat cells produce an enormous array of hormones pivotal to health, because everything in the body is connected. Shifts in hormones through the years can have a profound effect on the body.